Don't go and use all your money for school fees, all your money for project, the final project, and by the time you are done you can't do anything. You've wasted time, you wasted money, you've wasted resources. Some of you go to tailoring homes where they teach you how to sew. You don't open your eyes, you don't open your ears, and after 6 months or 1 year you now be like, oh, they did not teach you people anything. There is no one way to learn how to sew. Welcome back to another video. It's your favorite internet tailor back again with another video. This is like the first official sit down video for 2024, and if you don't know, if you are a Nigerian, if you are African, wherever you are watching me from, I'm Nigerian. The motto for us this year in our country is no grief for anybody, aka do not agree for anybody. So this year, after thinking and contemplating, there's this matter that has been on my mind about people that are learning how to sew, people that are not, that want to learn how to sew, people that have dilemmas with which fashion school they should go for, whether they should go to fashion academy, whether they should go for a roadside tailor. I have a lot of things on my mind, I have a lot of things on my chest that I want to let out. And in this video, I'm going to be coming for all your wigs, all your sewing machines, all your pattern drafting tools. If you want to know learning fashion, which fashion school you should go for, the duration, basically entering into the dressmaking, learning how to sew world, you definitely want to keep watching. Make sure if you've not subscribed, make sure you subscribe right now. So the first thing I want to let you guys know when it comes to learning how to sew, there is no one way to learn how to sew. I see a lot of comments on I see a lot of comments that people drop on my video or the video of some of my colleagues, and sometimes it annoys me. I don't know if it annoys some of my colleagues, but I know it annoys me. Sometimes I just ignore. Sometimes it's irritating when you film, maybe you film a tutorial, you post a tutorial, and someone is telling you, oh, this is not how to do it, you did wrong, you're showing rubbish, you don't know how to teach. I just want you guys to know that there is not one way to cut a skirt. There might be 5 other ways to cut a skirt. There might be 6 other ways to cut a bustier. There might be 7 other ways to cut a corset. Just make sure that at the end of that process, it comes out perfect, it comes out beautiful, it comes out nice. Now, if you want to learn how to sew, you want to make sure that the basics of sewing, you know that one. Why a lot of people cannot still sew in 2024 is because you see that basics of sewing, they have not learned it. They don't know how to cut a basic bodice, they don't know how to cut a basic skirt, they don't know how to cut a basic bustier, they don't know how to sew a simple gown, they don't know how to sew a simple short, simple trouser, easy blazer. They don't know the foundation of sewing is basics like this. Basic basic bodies. I don't know, I keep mistaking bodies and bustier. Basic bodies, basic sleeve, basic puff sleeve, how to cut the basic necklines, that's your square neckline, your scoop neckline, I like to call it circle neckline, but this is like U neckline, okay, U-shaped neckline, your V-shaped neckline. They don't know how to do all that. All they know is they have paid for one corset class online, and I'm not against classes online. I'm even preparing for my own online class, but you might know how to sew a corset perfectly, and you don't know the basics of sewing, and you realize that you've opened your shop and you can only tackle corset. The reason why a lot of people can manipulate a lot of styles, can cut any style, can sew any style, example me and a good number of all my colleagues, is because we know the basics of sewing. That foundation, we know it. So if you want to learn how to sew, don't start thinking, oh, once I've learned how to sew a corset, because a good number of you watching me, you can sew corset, you can sew bustier, but there are so many other things you cannot sew, there are so many other things you cannot cut. I want you to calm down this 2024 and learn the basics of sewing. If you have to register for a beginners class, please do register for a beginners class. I even have my own coming up very, very soon. Register for it and learn the basics. It will help you. A lot of people want to intern, a lot of people want to maybe go and do their apprenticeship, not apprenticeship, they want to intern with a particular fashion home, and you go there and sometimes you disgrace yourself because you don't know how to do anything. But if you know how to sew a corset, you know how to sew a bustier, but you don't know how to sew many other things. And some tailoring homes expect that if you're coming to them and you want them to employ you, or you want to do your internship there, they expect that these basics you should be able to do them. Okay, so make sure you learn the basics of sewing, the foundation of cutting and sewing. These basics that I've explained, that I've talked about, please make sure you learn them. Now, another thing that has been on my mind, this one, sometimes I don't want to talk about it, but I think I have to talk about it because it really hurts me when I see a lot of people, I think out of ignorance, I don't think it's peer pressure, but out of ignorance do some things just because they want to get knowledge. There are some people that pay for some things that on the first page of Google search you get it. And I'm not saying you shouldn't pay for things, because if you don't have the patience to learn something, you should pay when somebody wants to teach you. But then there are a lot of people that they have a lot of good tailors around them. They have a lot of good tailors around them. They want to learn how to sew. They see a fashion school online on Instagram, on Facebook, on TikTok, on whatever social media platform, even here on YouTube. They see a fashion school, a tailoring home, whatever anybody calls whatever they have, okay? And now they don't have the money for that. Or sometimes they do have the money for that. They don't have the money for that. Let me just face the first issue. Sometimes they don't have the money for that. And they now stay back and be like, oh, if I don't have the money to go to this particular fashion school, I am not going to learn tailoring because every other ones, maybe they are not good. But you've not tried. I always tell people that one way to know if a tailoring home or if a tailor if a tailor is very good is when you see her work. You see her customers, like if you get to an area newly, you see what she has sewn, you see the person she has made for the feet, you talk to people that she's training and they tell you, oh, she teaches us well. That is where you should go to. Don't say, oh, until I go to this one on Instagram, and later you be in our DMs crying. Oh, you paid one particular Instagram school and they just taught you guys corset, they just taught you guys bustier. And sometimes it might not even be the issue it might not even be the problem of that fashion school. Some people want to be spoon-fed, and the truth is, it is a school. Even in primary school, in secondary school, they teach you. If you want to assimilate, fine. If you don't want to assimilate, fine. Nobody is going to spoon-feed you. But because you've seen this fashion school on Facebook, you've seen the fashion school on Instagram, you've seen it on YouTube, you've seen it on TikTok, you just feel like once you go there, they should just carry whatever is in the tutor's head and dump it into your brain. And later you will come and be saying, oh, they didn't teach you well, they didn't tutor you, you went to so academy, now they did not teach you this, they did not teach you that. When you had your teacher there in class, why didn't you ask? And my question is, some of you go to fashion schools, some of you go to even tailoring homes, not even fashion schools, okay? Some of you go to tailoring homes where they teach you how to sew. You don't open your eyes, you don't open your ears. And after 6 months or 1 year, you now be like, oh, they did not teach you for anything. No. If you want to learn how to sew, whether you want to go to a fashion school that is popular on this, let me tell you, everybody is selling their market online. And when you come to patronize people, and they are teaching you, open your mind, open your heart. There are some fashion schools, maybe their specialty is corsets, maybe their specialty is wedding gowns, maybe their specialty is trouser and short, maybe their specialty is blazer, maybe their specialty is bustier. You know what you saw that made you go there. Now open your mind and your heart. And some people, before I forget this one, some of you register for advanced classes when you know you've not learned the basics of sewing. So you go for your advanced class, and next thing you're like, oh, they taught you only bustier, they taught you only native blouse, they taught you only corsets. Why? If you don't have the money to attend a very expensive fashion school, look for the one that is close to you. If they say it's 200k, if you can afford, pay. If you find the one that is 100k and the person can teach you and you can afford, pay. Don't go and be killing yourself that, oh, I must go to this expensive one. And when you are done going to the expensive one, you now be complaining that they didn't teach you well, which sometimes I find it very difficult to believe, because it's two ways. They might be teaching you and are not listening, and they might also not be teaching very well. So it's two ways. So this is 2024. These are issues that you guys, you need to, a lot of people spend very expensive money for their projects, for their fashion projects. You don't have enough money to go to a fashion school. Let me say you source from family here and there, you get the school fees, some affordable, some very expensive. And even when you want to graduate, your graduating project, which you must do, because even in the university, when you go, before you graduate, you do project, you show what you can sew, what you can cut, what you can do. Sometimes it's very, very expensive, sometimes it's not so expensive, depending on what you're working on, which fashion school, which tailoring home you're working with. So sometimes you go to a very, very expensive fashion school, your final project is very expensive, and by the time you are done learning, you don't even have money to buy your own sewing machine to be practicing at home. You don't even have money to maybe buy a sewing machine, a weaving machine. Maybe some of these are sewing tools to make sewing easier for you, because you spend a lot of money learning, and you don't have money to fall back on to start the business. So one thing I always like to tell people, especially when people come into my DM, I'm like, count your cost. Even the Bible says that. Do you want to build a house and you don't sit down and calculate the cost very well? You like this fashion school, but you might see. Let me give you guys a good example. Once upon a time, I could not afford a tripod. When I started my YouTube journey, I could not afford a tripod. I was using my daddy's tripod that was like 15 years old. At the time, it was 15 years old. Right now, it's almost like 20-something years old. And I used that tripod till I got my first paycheck. I did not say, oh, I must get my tripod, my camera. I am still filming with my phone. And I have over 100,000 subscribers. Good. So I want you guys to know that you might want to do this, you might want to do that, but you don't have the money. Calculate yourself first. Okay? So you want to go to this fashion school, even if it's not a fashion school, even if it's a tailoring shop, there are tailoring shops that collect 500k, 700k, 1 million, and you have 200,000. Quietly go and look for the place that will collect that budget. Quietly go and look for the place that is within your budget that you can comfortably pay for. That when you're even learning it is even close to your house. Some of you go interstate, which is not bad. If you have the finances, do. But don't overstretch yourself that when you are done, you don't even have the money to start up what you learned the tailoring for, what you learned the sewing for. So if you have somebody who's in your area, in your city, that can, there are different schools in Nigeria. There are private schools, there are government schools. You go to the one your money can carry. So go to the one that you can afford, you can easily learn, and you can still, by the time you are done learning, even if you want to start sewing from home, you still have money to buy 1 or 2 things for yourself, to start sewing, and you grow from there. Do you understand? Then if after then you still want to go to that very pricey one, maybe there's something else you want to learn, do well. That time you would have saved up money, you would have been sewing, you would have been making money, then you're able to go to the pricey one. Do you understand? Don't go and use all your money for school fees, all your money for project, the final project, and by the time you are done, you can't do anything. You've wasted time, you wasted money, you've wasted resources. Do you understand me? So I want you people to be thinking, this is 2024. Open your head and be thinking, because a good number of times it now makes it look as if some people are not teaching well, some fashion schools are not teaching well, some fashion schools are not doing their own due diligence, and the truth is nobody forced you there. They teach, there are people that still went to same academy with you and they're doing very well for themselves. So just, you guys should think about it very well. Just make sure you are making the best decision for yourself, and if you have the money to attend the expensive one, please do. Okay, now there's another one that has been bothering me, although I've touched on it lightly when I was addressing the other topics. I want you guys to know that when you are learning how to sew, in as much as you learn what is trending, you should also not forget to learn the basics. Corset is trending presently. A lot of people are going to learn how to sew, and because corset is trending presently, they focus all their attention on maybe only corsets. Some people pay for only corset classes, so they can sew corsets, everything related to corset. And the truth is, people don't wear corset every day. For special occasions, yes, because that's what is trending. But in the long run, will sewing only corset sustain you in the industry? Corset might reign for the next 5-10 years. Is it going to reign for the next 50 years? Will people still be crazy, very, very crazy about corset the way they are crazy about corset now in the next 5-10 years? So if you want to learn how to sew and you're seeing corset like, oh, I've learned how to sew corset, corset is not the only thing you should learn how to sew. You should learn how to sew a lot of things. I always advise people, go for beginner classes, okay? Go for beginner classes, go for advanced class. Then by the time you want to start picking special classes to go for, okay, you can go for those ones as well. Don't learn how to sew only corset and feel like you've learned how to sew everything. I don't want to say you'll be disgraced, but as you get into the fashion business, you will know that there are a lot of things you will be stuck. I always advise people, when you've learned how to sew for yourself to a good extent. Or if you want to intern in a tailor shop, intern in a tailor shop. If the tailor is not willing to pay you, you can go for free to sharpen your sewing skills, to sharpen your cutting skills, to learn the technical know-how of running a fashion business. There are some people that are very good with sewing gowns, sewing corsets, but by the time they cut and shape a sleeve for you, it's going to be very horrible. It will look like a very I don't know what is, let me see. You know, when the cake, the recipe is not right, it comes out really strong and looking funny. It's going to come out like that. So please, if you're learning how to sew, don't stop at learning how to sew corsets only. Learn the basics, learn corset, learn other things. Practice, 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 and practice. Okay? Practice, 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 and practice is what will make you better. Watch YouTube tutorials. There are some people that have learned from the comfort of their homes. Watch YouTube tutorials. Go on Pinterest. Go on Facebook. Go on TikTok. There are people teaching sewing everywhere. Learn from your neighborhood. See, some people look down on roadside tailors and feel like, oh, if it's not a fashion academy, roadside tailors don't know anything, which is a lie. Because I have a family member, my mom learned sewing, okay? She's very good with sewing. She went to Singer. She even did a diploma. She did, what's this thing called? After that thing they do in third year in the university. Internship. Yeah, she did diploma. She did internship. She even did, she spent a good number of years learning tailoring till she finally graduated, and now she has her own tailoring shop. So don't just look at some roadside tailors and be like, oh, because they don't have a fashion academy, they don't know anything. Some people actually went to fashion school, but you don't know. I always say that a good way to know if somebody knows how to sew is by looking at their work. Okay, looking at their work and looking at people they've sewn for. Ask around. There are people that are good around you. If you don't have the money, you can learn some. You can do a 3 months course. If you don't have the money to do 6 months or 1 year, you can do 3 months. If you can learn the basics in 3 months, then maybe you can start paying for some online classes, small, to learn the advanced. And on your own, take up on projects. It will really help you. Take up on small sewing projects. It will really help you. So these are all the things. Let me even check my list to make sure I talked about everything. Okay, these are all the things that have been on my mind that I have been wanting to tell you guys about in this 2024. So happy new year first. Like, I'm not telling people happy new year. Happy new year. Welcome to 2024, our year of positivity. That's my own mantra. After no grief for anybody, they want the whole Nigeria has accepted. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, any concern, drop them in the comment section. Okay, if you want to have a private chat with me, also you can hit me up on Instagram, on Facebook at Stitch Dress. If you want to buy fairly used sewing machines, I sell high quality fairly used sewing machines. You can check out my page on Stitch a Dress Shop on Facebook and on Instagram as well. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.